I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from How Low Can You Go, Book 5 in the Do the Wrong Thing series. Last time in How Low Can You Go, Ava described how she was only telling the dark parts of her life in the Do the Wrong Thing series, went to her Concord School of Art portfolio review, and went dancing. This is a continuation of that chapter, and the chapter is called Acceptance. Damien is so drunk he can hardly stand. Everything about him slurs, his body, his face, his lopsided grin. He stumbles among the pink, yellow, and white lights coming up from the floor below us. With unfashionable square aviator glasses, lens enlarging his eyes slightly, oversized jeans and workman's khaki coat rolling between his tobacco-stained fingers and a cinquante in his other hand, he kind of has no choice but to slur among the fashionistas at Bangnoir's hottest dance club. Crash! His beer bottle slips from his fingers. We laugh as we watch the bottle shards twinkle in the floor's lights in their beds of foamy liquid before going back to our seats. Don't want to slip and fall on a piece of glass or be found responsible for the breakage. I'm dressed for this night out. Another pair of black shorts that I've cut off, but these have a 6-inch high elastic at my waist, flaring out in a sort of mini skirt since I've cut them short. A white t-shirt above, nylons, docks, makeup. I'm drunk too, though not as drunk as Damien. Damien is only here because I cajoled him into coming. I still can't dance, but I can try. I'm hardly the worst on the dance floor, and no one really notices me. Biking home over the bridge, doubling Damien since he doesn't own a bike. When we get to the arbor side, I lose control and take out 2 newspaper boxes. Weirdly, I don't feel it. Are you okay? I exclaim, helping Damien up. He's laughing. I'm fine, he says, and he howls like a wolf. About 8 years ago, I danced a polka with my mom at the Legion Hall in Dardanelle, my hometown. Some aunt and uncle's anniversary party, possibly my cousin Helene's parents. Mom swung me around and around as we traversed the dance floor or spun around its edges like a top or an electron or an infinity symbol. I then understood why she loved to dance. It's like a drug, or it has a similar effect. God won't let her drink, but he's okay with dancing. Dad sits on the sidelines, drinking, most likely disgruntled and hurt, while she twirls with other men who enjoy dancing. November 12th, 2017, 9:39 p.m. I dance more and more in those days. Soon it'll become an obsession. I'm with Mom when I move. I'm with my happy mom. So I shake, shimmy, and gyrate and imagine that she's with me, laughing, holding me, and telling me I'm going to be just fine. The letters arrive from Concord School of Art and Prudence Hayward. Both offer me second-year placement. The joy, the pride, but not pride, self-assurance, confidence. They bubble no balloon up inside me, and my feet leave the ground. There's still the problem of getting to one of these schools. No money, no friends. There's loneliness, though somehow the acceptances wash away part of that. There is debt, no guarantee of work afterwards. Still, not just anyone can go to Concord School of Art. You have to be accepted. December 8th, 2017, 12:34 a.m. What's going on here? I can't focus. Well, I can, but my outline is bad. It's loose. It was tight at the beginning, and as it loosens, it's difficult to write. Is there more going on than that? How does memory work? As we approach now, does it get harder to recognize what's important and essential? I'm consumed with not being able to sleep tonight, but it's insignificant, isn't it? I won't remember December 8th, 2017's insomnia 10 years from now, let alone 25. This minute will disintegrate. Does memory sift out the unimportant details? If that's true, the dreams I had at age 5 are more important than the fight I had with my partner a week ago. I had a series of dreams where the house was on fire. In one, the fire spoke to me. In another, I went back through the fire for my teddy bear. If I was a prophet, I'd leave the dream about going back for my stuffy out of this text and work that conversation with fire into a massive incident full of mystery, bombast, and God. What is the function of memory? We remember survival lessons. What is there in the dream of a 5-year-old about survival? Memory, consciousness, dreams, that weird state between sleeping and waking when we see the wildest things. What is a fish's consciousness like, or a cat's, or a geranium's, an amoeba's? Is unraveling how it's supposed to be? Next chapter, hard, messy answers. My trips to Release increase until I'm going almost every weekend. Feeling cosmopolitan, confident, especially with my acceptances from both Concord School of Art and Prudence Hayward next September, at second year level for both. Not just anyone can go to Concord School of Art. No job, no income, no family or friends to speak of. I don't even know how I'll get to Concord or Westwood. Presumably a loan will pay for things once school starts. In Release, Rick, Neil, and Bradley live on the top floor of a house they bought together in a neighborhood run by the Hells Angels gang. They have a lot of parties. Rick, Neil, and Bradley, not the Hells Angels, though they probably do too, and are chill about people staying over. It's like an upscale version of the apartment Bradley's brother had on Malhot Street, where anybody could stay, but you wouldn't want to. The boys' house and the neighborhood are not terribly run down or decrepit. You'd never guess St. Boniface was full of violent gangsters. Poor French-Canadian families? Yes. Gangsters? Not really. Michelle, who has broken up with Steve, lives a few blocks from Rick, Neil, and Bradley's. I can stay with her if I prefer, though generally I stay with the boys. A midnight showing of El Topo, a surreal movie by an absolute genius. Just as I'm leaving Rick's to meet Michelle, he stops me and puts a tab of acid in my hand, repeating what he'd done a few years earlier when Michelle and I went to the Last Temptation of Christ. He gave me my first hit of acid back then. This time Michelle is not doing drugs. A cowboy rides a horse through the desert with a naked child sitting or standing, walking or running behind him, acting as the cowboy's hands. Shootings, maimings, little people, dwarfs, priests, shamans, and witches, blood. Alexandra Jodorowsky, the writer, director, and cowboy star of El Topo, loves illogical dream sequences and mysticism. He was a mime before he made movies. A lowly, goofy, impotent mime. Now he makes art. As Michelle and I walk home, I see a schoolyard containing a mountain of snow, sprinkled with dead bodies and gore, drizzled with blood. A huge, macabre Sunday. What the hell? I exclaim. Who would put that in a schoolyard where children can see? Michelle bursts out laughing, and I realize I've hallucinated. I laugh too. Back at her place, after a while, she wants to go to bed. I'm still wired and high. I leave for Rick's around the corner, but since I'm not tired yet, go for a walk. The sun's coming up. I guess I've been with Michelle for longer than I realized. A short man with long brown hair and a Fu Manchu mustache opens the door of a small clapboard house with a wire fence around an overgrown front yard. A pit bull runs out. An abandoned building in a field looks inviting. I find a way inside and poke around. Why do people think this neighborhood is dangerous? It's quiet, peaceful. The morning sun is gentle, soft, and silvery. I head back to Rick's, but get lost. An old man with thick, pockmarked skin approaches me. Can I help you? He smiles. Are you lost? A little, I say, before giving him Rick's address. My car is just up the street, he says, pointing to an old Datsun. I can take you home. I'm about to open the car door when I see piles of comics filling his back seat, with women on the covers, breasts half exposed as they struggle to escape angry men, or hanging dead already, with grim detectives silhouetted in white doorways casting long shadows towards the dead women. It's okay, I say, taking my hand off the handle. I remember where my friend lives now. I walk away quickly and resolutely, examining doors as I go, wondering which one I can run into if needed. Would the guy with the pit bull help? I stumble. Hey, that staircase. I'm back at Michelle's. When I knock on her door, she gets up and helps me to Rick and Neil's, where I lie awake for hours until the acid dissipates and I can sleep. You took a double, Rick grins the next morning when I mention how strong the acid was. I gulp. To be fair, in Rick's world, acid might be a daily, okay, maybe thrice weekly occurrence. He probably doesn't realize I've only taken it a few times.